Hello, so it's been a little bit longer since my last upload, and that was partially due to it taking a little bit longer to implement last level to the game than I expected. I actually did a bit more for it than I really thought I would, because I really wanted a good conclusion. But yeah, let's get right into that progress update on the game. Since the last video, I have finished the advanced levels. That means I did 4 levels. So, let's cover those. So, the 4 levels that I did. Alright, let's start in with the first one. The first one teaches you to do the Scandinavian flick. It's a pretty simple tutorial, but it could help you throughout the rallying stage, all the rallying time trials and stuff. Pretty basic, but it still is something that you have to really try to master. It can be quite a challenge to pull off right, and not end up in a tree or end up spinning out. But it is something that I thought was important, so I made sure to make a level for it. Now let's cover the second level. The second level is something a bit more exciting, to say the least, and it makes you a stunt driver. And what you have to do is drive, I believe it was an Evo, off of buildings onto other buildings until you finally reach a checkpoint. In reality, it's not that different from most of my other levels. One thing I did have to do is find a way to put the text up on the screen and handle that in the same script as other stuff and not have it slow stuff down or break stuff. And just make sure everything worked right. So I did that, and it works great. So it's actually not too advanced of a level, but it is a challenge. When I say not too advanced, I mean not too advanced in the scripting department. But yeah. For the third level, it makes you drift a Celica drift car. The Celica drift car is set up a good bit better than my Evo drift car from the Gymkhana levels. And it allows you to drift on a drift track that I built specifically for this level. I put a good bit of time into it, and I think it looks quite nice. There are a few places that I wish I could improve on, but given that it's only one level, I don't think it's very bad at all. I think it's quite good. For the very last level, I want to cover that actually individually from all of this, right after I talk about the multiplayer lobby. So, for a while, I've been thinking about axing that from the project, because I simply didn't think that there'd be enough time to finish that. But I think that I should have enough time to release that in the main game. If not, then I might just release the game and add that a few days later. For the multiplayer lobby, I don't think it's going to be anything too advanced, mostly just a car spawner. It allows you to drive around and do stuff with friends. But that is my plan for the multiplayer lobby. Now let's cover that last level. The very last level of the advanced stages is quite different from anything that I'd done before. Now, initially, I had planned for it to be rather simple to set up, but it quickly grew a bit more advanced than I was really expecting. So what I did is I made it so that when you run into a bunch of Priuses, you can destroy them, but you're getting chased down by a massive SUV that will crush you. So your job is to destroy as many of the little cars as you can before you get crushed by the SUV. On the surface, I thought, alright, that'll be pretty simple. And it started off pretty good. For the Priuses, I just tweened the position value for them from one part to another part and had them disappear behind a tunnel and respawn way behind the player, where you wouldn't notice that they're popping in and out of existence. And that worked fine. And I did encounter some issues detecting whether you were getting hit by the ram on the front of the Evo or not, but other than that, it did work fine and is a good bit of fun. Had to make sure that you couldn't destroy joints and stuff and kill the player, but yeah. The SUV part was a bit more challenging to implement, as I needed to destroy it after a certain point, create an explosion, but then I found out that you couldn't change the size of the basic Roblox explosions, which is quite a limitation. What I had to do is get some explosion particles and enable them and then disable them, and I was actually worried about, since the sure thing destroys the part, I was worrying that it wouldn't be able to instantiate the object or enable the particles, because at that point the script would be destroyed since the object was deleted, but it does run the script, and it works fine. Handling so a while ago I implemented something to make sure that you could choose your car even after you reset the character to allow you to do multiple runs of a stage. I don't know why I didn't just make it so it teleported the character to the start position. I don't know why I did that, but I did. It just resets you, spawns you there, and this has created some issues, and this is something that I want to work on in my next game, so that I can do stuff and have it not be a mess. So what it does, I needed a way to handle whether the SUV was on screen, and whether I should show the menu, and it was actually way more challenging to implement that part than I ever thought it would be. But I did figure it out. There's a complication though. It doesn't work. It doesn't let you retry for some reason. When I press restart, it doesn't do all the values, set them for some reason. I don't know personally why. It should, but yeah, whatever. Just rambling on here. But yeah, it doesn't allow you to restart. You would have to go back to the menu and start it again. But once you're done that level, you've beat the entire campaign mode, and I think it's a fun level to end off on. Once again, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Discord for the game will be down in the description. Bye.